Yes, you're welcome to another wonderful edition of our grad school pathway series from Fuji Stop. I'm really happy that we're doing this again. My name is Dr. Ireti Adesida, and today is going to be a wonderful edition because we're looking at how we can demystify the Commonwealth Scholarship. Because something when I was discussing with also Femi, I think over the week and also yet today, I was telling him that basically when it comes to Commonwealth scholarship, it's like more of a bit cumbersome because a lot of people have also given me feedback about this that I've been finding it hard to really get into the scholarship. Filling the form has been very very tasking for me and all those things. So it's been like a probably a very mighty mountain or probably hill that you want to overcome. So today it's a great opportunity that we're going to be having a wonderful resource person. He has been part of us, and he has been a very wonderful person when it comes to the food gist up and being supportive. And I'm glad to really have him on board today. It's going to be a wonderful edition. I just want to say, just enjoy yourself, relax, and then make sure you probably just share this link with others so that they can be part of this engagement and we can learn and engage ourselves across board. It's about demystifying the Commonwealth Scholarship because this thing is closing very soon, sometimes in October, in the next probably 1 year, weeks or something like that. We're going to, it's good, that will be the deadline for this. And it's good that we learn about it for those who are, because now you also have to learn that probably even in case you are not qualified for this year, this is an opportunity for you to learn and prepare yourself for next year. So, without wasting time, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. I just want to say that, okay, Rosemary Ojo, thank you very much. I know you've joined. So we're waiting for others. So you keep joining, drop your messages, drop your emojis, and let us know how this goes. So we'll be starting without, because it's very good, because we don't have also much of time. So I'll be starting with my guest. He's also a brother. He's going to introduce himself, tell us more about what he does, so that you can also learn from him, and they probably will be able to know that he's an authority when it comes to this area. So once again, my name is Dr. Ireti Adesida. You're welcome to Food Gist Up, and this is a platform whereby we gist about things that concerns us, about our growth, and about young people across board. Yes, it's about food, it's about agricultural communication, it's about developing young people across board so that they can have access to even some of these opportunities to learn and develop themselves. So without wasting time, we welcome Olufemi Adesina. You're welcome. And it's good also that let's hear directly from you. Kindly introduce yourself, and let's see how let's get more about what you do. You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you, and I believe if you can hear him, you can just probably also just drop your emoji. I can hear you. I can hear you. So that
Okay.
we keep engaging. Yeah.
My name is Olufemi Adesina, as rightly introduced by Dr. Ireti, and I'm currently resident at the United Kingdom, where I am rounding up my PhD. I I was a student. I was Dr. Ireti's one of his students uh, at the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa, where I bagged my first degree in agricultural extension and communication technology. That was rounded up in 2018. Um, then I got this Commonwealth Scholarship, which we'll be discussing comprehensively today. This was the um, first international scholarship I got, and changed my life since then. Um, I was opportune to win the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, which we will talk about in as the discussion moves forward. I studied food security, sponsored by the Commonwealth Scholarship at the University of Warwick between 2018 and then 2019. And then in 2021, I got the NEC UKRI Panorama Scholarship, which funded my PhD. Um, yeah, I've also won other scholarship, which I even was not able to pick up, and fellowship as well. I've got the I won the Bolog Additional Fellowship with Dr. Akimumi Adesina, President of African Development Bank. I'd also won Erasmus Scholarship, was not able to pick that up, and series two other PhD scholarships in the United Kingdom. So yeah, it's been a long journey. I'm happy to be here. This is our second series, and then I hope that today I'm able to address some of your concerns, questions, and yep, then we take it from there. Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
okay, thank you very much. Because from I know basically we're really talking about Commonwealth scholarship, but before we delve into that, I know from what you have said, you've enjoyed a lot of fellowships, a lot of programs, and all those things.
Yeah.
I just want to say this, that do you see it as because I know most of the time, uh, people see some of these things as and it's something that is difficult. They only give it to people that they know, and it's something that you have to be an excellent student. You have to be like before you can get this. So, do you agree to this? Because sometimes people see it as something that is very far. It's for those who are extremely, the genius, or probably those who know some. Because you talked about a lot of fellowships, a lot of things you have participated in. So, what's your
Yeah.
take about this? Do you see it as something that a common man, once you are determined, even no matter if you don't know anybody, even if you are just trying to make try to develop yourself academically, you can still get some of these things.
Um, I would say that um, it's not far from your reach, no
Mm,
matter your background, and then no
yeah.
matter your circumstances. To be fair, I even think that those without the silver spoons are the one that kind of are in the pole position to win this type of scholarship.
Mm,
Because number one, you've got the passion, you've got the drive, you've got nothing to lose, and then you've got probably no resources to fund yourself. So
mm,
you've got all it takes to to put in that time. That's one of the most challenging resources and infinite one. The time, the effort, putting together materials from different sources, and then putting up your application as at when you stand a chance, as I've also stand a chance in most of all these scholarship that I've won. That does not mean that they are that easy. I've got a lot of rejections, but rejections are part of life. You learn from them. No matter what time it takes, you just learn from those rejections, and then you use them as stepping stone to to better refine your application, maybe for the next opening. While you do other things, you keep refining them, and one day you just want to believe that it's competitive.
mm,
So, but good things are not meant for one person. You should know
yeah.
that, something good, a lot of people are attracted to it, and then you are competing. You are as good as a competitor. That is what I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and addressing the aspect of maybe being academically strong, as much as it's a privilege to be in that position, but at the same
Mm,
time, there are different ways which you can complement for uh trying to balance your portfolio. I would say, for instance, if you've got a weaker academic achievement, you can balance that up with maybe job experience, internship
mm-hmm.
experience,
Yeah.
volunteering experience, leadership experience. So, and even collaborating on um, um, hosting events like this, showcasing those that on your profile. At the same time, showing that you are not selfish, that you are about the people, how you've
Mm.
impacted lives, maybe even collaborating on publications as well. These are some of the ways that you can complement and try to balance your portfolio rather than just tilt towards academic performances or academic excellences alone.
Okay, okay. Thank you. I know probably we'll still have opportunities to talk more about how to handle rejection, because I know it's a major thing. That's also why a lot of people run away from this. And to me in life, there's no way you can have the yes all the time. There's
Yeah.
You must have a story. If you don't have a story, how do you want to empower others? How do you want to encourage others?
Yep.
So, but well, because of what we have today, let's just go straight into what we have. Let me start with it because you mentioned, you've been part of different fellowships, different programs, scholarships. What makes the Commonwealth Scholarship unique? What makes it so unique from others? Why is it different from your own experience? I know you've had different scholarship applications, and what makes this very unique, and what makes it different?
Okay. Before I start, I had already put together some slides that could respond to
Okay.
this question as we discuss about these scholarships. Let me see if I can share my screen and make it more engaging. Live Windows. Okay. Can you see my slide?
Not yet. Probably still. Okay. Okay. Yes, I can see it. No, it's not your slide I'm seeing. I think it's your
Okay.
file.
What
Yeah.
about now?
No. Okay. Okay. No. Probably you connect again. It has gone.
Okay, let me see. Once again, share. Okay, let's try this. What about now?
Oh. Okay. Okay. Let me see. I'm coming. Trying to. Okay. So, well, you can go on full screen now because we're just seeing.
Okay. So you can't see it now?
Yeah, we can see it, but you need to go on full screen. That's
Okay,
a slideshow. Sorry.
slideshow. Yeah, I think I did that just now. Come in, let me put. Okay. What about now?
I think it's probably it's loading. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe it takes. So in the meantime, let me just continue talking about the Commonwealth scholarships, and hopefully it comes on board. Any luck?
Probably you can still continue, though
Oh,
we can't see we are seeing the slide, but not as a full slide. But
full.
I think you can still continue. But you
Oh,
probably you click the the
yeah,
button
yeah.
again.
I've
You
done that.
clicked it. Okay.
Slideshow. Is there need for any
From the
set?
beginning. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, okay, from current slide. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, from
No, I think you have. I can see from current slide up.
yeah, yeah. I've done that.
Okay. Okay,
Still,
probably let's continue
yeah,
with
yeah,
this. I think we
uh,
can still see.
yeah. We can. So, the Commonwealth Scholarship, it's a lovely scholarship, and fortunately, Nigerians qualify for this scholarship. It supports different um, um, developmental work. I would say, for instance, that there are some parts that focus on businesses, innovative ideas, and there are some other parts that focus on sponsoring um, um, education. So most of the time, the Commonwealth Scholarship is kind of linked to sustainable development goals and contributing to the United Nations agenda. And then one interesting part about this funding is that let me see, they cover your full tuition fee. That means that you wouldn't have to pay a dime. As you would agree with me, funding your education in the United Kingdom is very, very expensive, running to thousands of pounds. If I could recall, my master's degree would have cost me nothing less than £25,000, if you know what that means in naira. So the Commonwealth Scholarship covers your tuition fee, your travel allowances, and if you've if you are selected for PhD, they also support your family to come along. Then you've got access to alumni group and ongoing engagement opportunities with the scholarship board. And these and many more are some of the benefits of the scholarship. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You can go on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so these are some of the benefits of the scholarship, and let me see again. Sorry. Again, let me share. So let me just I would give a brief overview of what I've got here about the scholarship. Then Dr. Ireti can just button whenever he feels like. So the Commonwealth Scholarship looks at core development teams. You've got science and technology. They have also got agenda around global peace, especially during this time where we have issues, war between Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Palestine. All these kind of issues. Even in Nigeria, we've got issues around um, previously the Boko Haram and later into the Fulani herdsmen, something around those areas. Then you've got, and they also concentrate on health. So public health, if you are in the field of public health, social work, there is also a place in this scholarship. Then you've got global prosperity, inclusion, opportunities. These are some of the key areas that um, this scholarship focuses on. As I said earlier, they sponsor PhDs, they do split site scholarship where you study in your home country and also in the UK. They've got Commonwealth Master Scholarship, which is currently ongoing. Then there's the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, which I won. There's the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship, which my wife won. And then that was how she got a master's degree through the distance learning. You would be in your home country while studying. Then and then there's a professional fellowship as well. But today we'll be talking more about the master's scholarship. If you're following me, please let me know. As I said, we'll be focusing more on the Commonwealth Master Scholarship, and then once in a while also talk about the PhD as well. So we have two major Commonwealth scholarship. There's one currently ongoing, which I would say it's titled Commonwealth Masters and also PhD. So in this process, you apply to the Commonwealth Scholarship Board, and then subsequently you also apply to a nominating body. In this case, if you are in Nigeria, you apply to the Ministry of Education. Are you following, please? Am I audible? Hopefully I can go on. Let me check. Okay. Okay. Then I can go on. Mm, Yeah. Yeah, sorry for that. Just want to be sure that So, and then the first one, which I'm talking about, is the Commonwealth Scholarship, Master Scholarship. It's currently ongoing, and as you can see in the screen, it's going to be closing on the 14th of October 2025. And so that means you've got little or no time to plan towards these. But if you can still make it, yeah, it's a good opportunity to apply for the scholarship. This is like the home background of the scholarship. So if you register for this webinar, you'll be receiving this presentation deck, which I've also added the link to the scholarship website. You can easily access that from presentation deck. So for this ongoing one, as I said earlier, you need to get nomination from the Ministry of Education or from an NGO. In most cases, it's difficult to ascertain which nomination body would work for you. But I have heard about FAWE, Forum for African Women Education list. It's also listed on the website. You can go to the website, and these two bodies, these are the National Nominating Agency or the non-governmental organizations. Those are the two bodies that will nominate you for the ongoing Commonwealth Scholarship. So that's about the ongoing one. And then there's the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, which is not yet open. And that is the good thing. And this is the one I won. And this one is way simpler than the original Commonwealth Scholarship. So you are blessed to have logged in today, because even if you miss the Commonwealth Scholarship, which is closing on the 14th of this month, you can start preparing for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, which the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship process is a bit, simpler than the ongoing one. The ongoing one will require you to apply to the Commonwealth Scholarship, subsequently also apply to your nominating body, which is either the national body, the Ministry of Education, or the NGO, which is FAWE. But the Commonwealth Shared, you only apply to the Commonwealth body. So this is more simple, and I believe that whoever does not understand the ongoing Commonwealth Scholarship should understand the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. It's not yet open, but you will do yourself a good service by logging into the website all the time, following the news. Make sure that immediately the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, I believe it's going to be open for application probably next month or end of this month. So most of the time when the ongoing Commonwealth Scholarship closes, then the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship opens. So maybe a distance of 1 to 2 weeks, then the Commonwealth Shared should be available. Why it's called the shared scholarship is because the funding and the obligation is shared between two bodies: the hosting institution, which is the university, and then the Commonwealth Scholarship themselves. So the responsibility is shared between this organization, and it has high winning rate. Most of my friend also won the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. As you can see, on the website, it's still closed. So do well to always log in, and then you would know when it's available. I'd already covered this, talking about why the Commonwealth Scholarship is very important and competitive. It covers the entire tuition fee. It covers your air ticket. You've got warming clothing allowance, TB test refunds, workshops, access to alumni group, and that is what you stand a chance to gain if you are able to land this opportunity. And then,
Okay.
okay, Thanks
Yeah,
for.
go ahead. You know, go ahead. Yeah, I think,
Okay.
yeah.
So let me just talk about this slide
But I
and
would
then
just suggest that please drop your questions ahead, please, based on what you are learning. It's good
okay.
that you also ask questions, so please, so that we can follow. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So maybe when while going on, I just take a break to see to some questions and then we move on again. So this particular scholarship, when we talk about selection criteria, they look at academic merit, they look at quality of your study plan. They also look at the development impact story that you've put together in your application, and essential document would be, gaining admission. So
Okay,
that's
but it's
the.
not. Is it on the screen because we can't see it?
You still cannot see this.
No, the scholarship types and selection. Is that what you're taking?
Yep.
Okay, okay,
So we've got
okay.
4 pillars of the selection. Can you see that now?
No, not yet. Yeah.
So why is this? Okay.
Okay, the four pillars. Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay. Maybe let me just leave it in this short window, and then they can have access to the to
Yes,
this.
we can see it well because I've expanded it so they can see it. So then we'll
Okay.
share it.
Okay. So when you talk about the 4 pillars, academic merit, your study plan, how strong it is, then the development impact, and then you have the essential documents that you need to put in. For the academic merit, in this application, you need to put in maybe your academic prizes, the prizes you've won over time, then maybe your conferences you've attended, workshops you've attended, publication that you've got. And for the study plan, you just need to talk around your proposed dissertation, and then what you want to get from the study in itself, how you plan to walk through your time during the funding. For the development impact, you need to demonstrate how you would kind of give back, and the impact that this scholarship would have on yourself and then your immediate community. For the document, need your transcript, your reference letter, and then you need an admission offer. And you need an admission offer from the university that you selected in the Commonwealth portal. So for each application, you would see universities in the website. Then you would also see the courses that those universities want to fund. So in some cases, they even show the number of slots that they've got for certain course or certain university. So a university might have like say 4 slots. That would mean that everyone that applies to that course or to that university would be fighting for that 4 or competing for that 4 or 5 slots. So those are some of the things that you would see, especially for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, which is not yet open. But as I said, be on a lookout for that. So before I go deeply into some of how to address some of the essays that accompany the Commonwealth Scholarship, I would like to ask Dr. Ireti if there's any question that he wants me to just quickly address as we move on.
Okay, okay. Well, I think Rosemary Ojo is asking that can you? I would like to apply for both. Is it possible? Can someone apply for both
Oh,
scholarships? That's the two types.
that's good. It's possible.
And then how do I apply to the nominating agencies, and what do I need to do?
Okay, so you can apply for both. I would even encourage you to apply for both. But I think the challenge with the current one, which is going on, is people having difficulty accessing the nominating body. So I think that was a particular part that I also got frustrated about, and unfortunately, that aspect has not been addressed. So for the ongoing Commonwealth Scholarship, you need to apply to the Ministry of Education. If you
That's
check
your home country.
Yeah, in your own country. If you
Okay.
if you if you log into the website, you would see a link that directs you to that nominating board. So, and then if you also want to consider nomination through an NGO, you would also see a link on the website directing you to list of NGOs and then the list of um, countries that are qualified to apply through that nomination body. That is for the ongoing. But for the shared, which is not yet out, but in subsequent weeks it should be, you can even apply to as many courses as possible, as many university as possible, and that is uh, um, that is like a bonus to the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, and that is why I even prefer the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, because it gives me that variety. For me, during my time, I applied for to about 10 schools in the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship around similar area of study. So what I had to do is just to replicate my application 10 times. By doing so, I would also tailor them to each of those universities and then also refine some part of the application so that it does not just, for instance, you are applying to University of Warwick and then your second application is still showing University of Warwick, whereas you are submitting for University of Cambridge. So when the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship comes out, the first thing that would be advisable you do is look at all the courses that are being funded, see where you fit in, draft out those universities that are offering the courses, apply for admission to that specific course that will be funded, apply for admission, then submit a Commonwealth scholarship on the Commonwealth website that links to that admission. There's like a section in each of those applications that would indicate the university you're considering, the course that you're considering, and if you've got like an admission or application ID, there's also a place to indicate that in the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. So, but for the ongoing one, as I said earlier, the challenge is always the nominating body, which is the Ministry of getting um, um, your application through to the Ministry of Education. Sometimes can be clumsy, and then sometimes it requires you to even go for an interview. If you are successful at applying, there's been cases where my friends will travel down from Ondo State to Abuja to sit for interviews, and then in most of the cases they are unsuccessful because it's either that there are different complications with maybe change of venue, change of timing. So you might find it difficult. But if you are a resident within, Abuja, you can also just walk to the Ministry of Education, seek for knowledge, see if they are advertising or calling for applicants, and then make best use of your geographical location, and yeah, get on board with the ongoing Commonwealth Scholarship. But at the same time, you can also use this opportunity, as I said earlier, to prepare for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, but okay, before I go to the next question, so I want to be clear because I know the present federal government, the one that is ongoing now,
Yeah,
you need to, I think, for you to be qualified, you must have gotten an admission.
yeah,
So that means the Commonwealth shared, I can still apply now, even if I don't have an admission, I can still apply for to any of the UK schools and
yeah,
still benefit from it. So that means because a lot of people felt that since I didn't have a letter of admission, I can't be part of it. So that means with Commonwealth shared now, I can start looking for universities in the UK that
yeah,
fits into my own area. So once the
yeah.
Commonwealth shared scholarship comes out,
You
then I
just
can.
use the
But which
yeah.
of the is are we now going to be looking at apply how to apply for January or which of
Uh
the Because
You
I
mean
can't apply for September already. The September admission has started already.
yeah?
Enrollment, sorry.
So if you're applying for the ongoing Commonwealth Scholarship or the year to open Commonwealth
Yeah,
shared,
they want. Yes.
you'll be targeting next year September.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
see how
Okay.
long you need to plan before even
Okay.
people have been planning even a year before that time. So now, whatever application you are making now is for September, October entry 2026,
Okay. Not January.
not January. Commonwealth rarely do um, bring in scholars in January.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
your application is tailored towards September, October 2026.
Oh, okay. 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 That's good. Then,
Yeah,
okay, you already say something. Yeah.
yeah, you also may mention talked about admission later. So these are some of the challenges with the ongoing Commonwealth scholarship. Even if you make it to the federal ministry, they might ask for your admission letter, and if you are yet to put in your admission by now, not to talk of getting an admission offer, even if you get an admission offer, it could be a conditional or unconditional. They prefer an unconditional letter, but if it's a conditional, fine, you can still take it. But there are some candidates that are even yet to, get an admission letter by now. So not to talk of taking it down to, to the federal ministry. So, but for the shared, the beautiful thing is that you can do it the other way around. You can submit your Commonwealth scholarship first and then
Yes.
go ahead to apply for admission.
Oh, okay. 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 That's a good one. I think that one is more flexible.
Exactly. So I enjoy the flexibility, and that is why it also gives you alternate different varieties you can apply to as many as possible. And for this current ongoing one, I think you can only apply to three schools.
Oh, okay. So, but for
Yeah,
Commonwealth shared, you can apply to as many
as possible. So far, you
possible.
are able to tailor your application to
Oh,
those separate applications. So if you're applying for five, you would submit five Commonwealth applications.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
There's a question here. It says, I have an offer already and my letter of admission, but my enrollment is for September.
Okay.
He said, is it still possible I defer my admission till next year? Would that still work for the Commonwealth shared scholarship?
Yeah, that will work. That's a brilliant idea. You apply, you just reach out to the admission office. They would you tell them you want to defer to the next
That'll be
September,
September.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
2026. And yep, so far that the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship gets funding for your course, you are good to go, because there could be a setback where probably when the Commonwealth Share Scholarship get opened, they are not funding that particular course for that year.
Okay. But how can I know?
It will be all the courses that will be funded would be on the Commonwealth
Okay.
Shared website. So,
Oh,
for
okay.
instance, if you owed like an admission for say masters in agroecology in the same university, and when the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship opens, they say they want to fund food security and not
Yeah.
agroecology. So that would
Hmm.
mean that you are not going to be able to apply to that university using your former admission letter. Then you need a fresh admission letter or application for the new course that they are going to be funding, which is, if you know what I mean, also close to the courses are closed, but you just need to, reapply to the new course that they are going to be funding. Sometimes they stop funding for a particular course and then open funding for a new
Oh,
course.
okay. I think it's okay. I have someone that just gained September 25 in the UK. So when can the person apply? I think the person can start applying while deferring. He
Yep,
said, yeah. So you
yep,
can, okay, defer, then start applying for Commonwealth shared.
yep, yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
so you will be lucky if the same course that you've applied for this ongoing Commonwealth is also being funded during the Commonwealth shared application. So you can use the same admission letter. If not, you can defer for the next year for the 2026 September intake. Just be
Okay.
sure that the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship is funding that particular course. So far, they are funding that particular course. You do not need to reapply for admission. Just defer your admission.
Okay. Okay. And
Yeah.
then someone saying that can someone already living in the UK apply, or only those in Nigeria, or do we have a scholarship for those already in the UK?
Um, the scholarship is meant for those residing in their home country because
Oh,
it
okay.
mandates you to return to your home country after after completing your studies. So because they believe that that is the only way they can achieve impact, and that is the only way that you would have the opportunity to give back to your community. So if you are residing in the UK, there are some other scholarship that you can look out for. Most of them are UKRI scholarships, which I got for my PhD. So whoever is residing in the UK can just Google the UKRI scholarships,
Okay.
or in most cases,
UKRI.
yeah, United
Okay.
Kingdom Research and Innovation.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
they have series of scholarships, and most of the time they focus on PhDs. They call it doctoral training programs, DTPs,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
doctoral training programs, DTPs. So they've also got um, some portion of their fund portfolio to fund masters by research, but most of their funding goes for PhDs. And at the same time, another website you can also take time to look out for funding opportunity is Find a Masters in the UK. Find
Okay.
a Masters in the UK.
What
When you
about
Google,
PhD?
yeah, the same line of prompt. Find a PhD in the UK.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So they have those websites are kind of integrated. You if you
Okay.
search for Find a Masters in the UK, so most of the funders in the UK often put out their proposals on these two websites. You would so in that case you are not obligated to return to your home country if you are able to secure scholarships that are based in the UK. Another scholarship that is popular that you might also want to consider is the Erasmus scholarships and the
Okay.
Mastercard scholarship. So
Okay.
the Erasmus scholarship and the Mastercard scholarship, um, even if you are not
That's
residing,
for even if you are not in the UK, it
yeah,
also works
even
for
if
you.
yeah, it also works for you if you're in Nigeria, and if you're in the UK, it also work for you. You can apply.
Okay, okay, okay. Probably
Yeah,
will still, you probably will be able to, if we have some scholars who have also gone through this, we can also
yeah.
probably bring them on board to probably
To
share some
talk
of
up.
these
Yeah, yeah.
experiences. Yeah.
That would be good. That would
Okay.
be good.
Then before you go, I think there's well, before you go to the essay. Okay, someone is saying, does the shared scholarship, fund cover PhD, master's, PhD, what of undergraduate studies?
So the shared scholarship does not cover undergraduate. They only
Okay.
cover masters. They do not cover PhD.
Oh, okay. It's only okay. The shared scholarship is only for masters.
It's only for masters.
Okay,
So
but
the
the
one that covers the PhD is the ongoing one.
ongoing one. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's
So the
clear.
ongoing one covers both masters and PhD.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Then what of reference? How many references is needed?
Um During admission, while seeking admission for the same course, you need I think two references, one academic, one professional,
No,
or
for
two.
do you need references for the
But for
Commonwealth?
for the Commonwealth application itself, you need to indicate the names and addresses of three referees. So
Okay,
in the past, you might have to upload those references alongside your application. But um, recently, what I am aware of is that you just indicate their names. Most their names, their email, probably their phone number. Then, if you are lucky to be selected, that is when they would reach out to them for reference.
Okay,
Unlike
okay,
before, where you just have to do everything at once. But now you just have to put the names of three referees, and then you should put names of strong people in your line of discipline that would be able to write comprehensively for you and then know you better.
okay, okay. But you mentioned that you have to come back to your home country, which is the standard. What along the line, if I go for my masters, along the line I'm able to get a PhD admission? Won't can't
Yeah,
that also
that that
make me
that,
to continue?
that
Yeah.
is the exception.
Okay, okay. So if you have
That
a
is
PhD admission before you complete
Yeah,
your masters,
before you
you can
complete your
still
masters. Yeah, I was also open to, I applied for some PhD opportunities while during my Commonwealth studies in the UK, but I was not able to get a PhD directly after my master's. So I got a fellowship instead, which I went for, and then later on, find a way to get my PhD. But yeah, there are, I think, two of my colleagues in the same university got a direct PhD even before completing the master's,
wow.
especially because they created, there was an opportunity in their department.
Okay,
So,
okay,
which came up, especially, I think, and it was linked to their master's thesis.
okay, okay,
So,
okay,
that gave them the opportunity to, to just follow through. So what you do in that case is to write to the Commonwealth that, fortunately for you, you've been awarded a PhD scholarship, so you would like to continue, and then you move on from there.
okay, okay. And for PhD too, if you get a postdoc, that also could also work for you too.
Yeah, you keep going. you
Yeah,
keep
yeah, yeah.
you keep
Great.
you keep enjoying. Yeah,
Okay. So okay, let's go straight to the that's the essay part because of our time. So you
yeah.
can take us on the essay part.
Okay, so I've got two section here. I've got the essay part for the Commonwealth Scholarship. Then I've also got a guide for personal statement or motivation letter. I don't know which, because of our time, I don't know which one do you think that will be more broadly suitable for us to go through first. Because in most cases for the personal statement, it's needed in the application itself. It's also needed in during your admission letter. So probably it might be a good idea to just give a summary of how personal statement should be written, or because I also have like a sample in the slide.
Okay, but
So the
the
second
second one is
would be the essays for the Commonwealth itself.
okay. Probably we can do the essay for the Commonwealth then,
Okay.
because I know we still have because I know for the personal statements, I know we also have the SOP and all these things. These are
Yeah,
also
it's
broad. So probably let's just
yeah.
focus more on the Commonwealth part.
Okay, and let's
Then we
see where
can
it takes us.
yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's good. So um I'd already sent a template, like the forms that you would, when you log in into the Commonwealth website, what you would see. You have to fill some personal form, personal information about yourself, all those things. There's a template form on the website, of which, if you've registered for this webinar as well, you would get through your email. So after filling those forms, telling them about your work history, your nationality, imputing your personal information, what follows are the essays, and the one of the most important part of the essay talks about developmental impact. So you know trying to see where your study fit in terms of development. So I would suggest that if you're an intending applicant, you familiarize yourself with developmental issues around your field of study, especially through news, trending issues. For instance, for me, I get to familiarize myself with news regarding, um, based on my field, agriculture, food, food nutrition, even I can even link the ongoing war with Russia and Ukraine to food insecurity. Those are ways you need to be thinking. You also need to understand the United Nations Sustainable Developmental Goals. These are some of the assignments you need to do yourself. So that is why when I started the presentation, I talked about time. Time is one of like that is a very huge resources that you need to put into landing this opportunity, and I must tell you that it's worth every of your time. So let's dive into the developmental essays. In order to present a well-rounded essay in this developmental part of the application, first of all, you might log into to start with. You might log in into the portal, write or draft out all the questions in the portal. If it's different for the template provided earlier, they might want to change some questions. We never can tell. So make sure that you know all those questions. Then develop your answer in a Word document. Then copy and paste into the portal. So for the developmental essays, you might want to kind of note a broad issue ongoing currently around the globe, and then use like a funnel approach. So this is what you do. You start with a global perspective about what is going on. Identify a global issue using, citing news, citing developmental organization reports. For instance, maybe there are issues around inflation, food security, food scarcity due to even fuel scarcity. These are some of the issues you have to in your opening paragraphs. These are some of the issues you want to highlight. Then subsequent the following paragraph, you now need to narrow it down. You notice I am using a funnel approach. I'm starting from a global perspective. Now I'm kind of um dropping down to linking the global issue to a local issue. So then I had to explain how that issue, which is happening globally, is affecting my home country. As I said earlier, there's a sample in this slide which you can, follow up later and then see in real time how I'd use this approach to write up some of my um, um, contents or documents. So let me give an example. For instance, the war in Russia and Ukraine has led to the fact that Ukraine is one of the major supplier of wheat in the world. So I'll be using agriculture and food examples. Hopefully, you are able to follow with your own field. So Ukraine is one of the major wheat producer and exporter in the world, but due to the ongoing war, they've not been able to produce in that country, which has led to shortage in wheat supply to countries in Africa, in like Nigeria, Ghana, North Africa, and the likes. So they've not been able to import wheat to make bread, to make some of their staples, and that is also leading to food insecurity. So you see how I had already moved from a global perspective to a local perspective, and then you move on to talk about possible solutions, or what you have been doing, or what you think can be done. Explain how your study can help address or profile uh, uh, a solution to that to that lacuna, to that gap that has been created due to the ongoing war in Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine. You understand that? So now, how is this study? If it has to do with health related issue, then how will your study how is it going to address those issues, maybe around displacement of people in the war-torn zones. How is your study going to address those issues? That would be like the following paragraph after you've linked the global perspective to the local context, and then you round up by linking it back to the sustainable development goals, which I had already said you need to familiarize yourself with. And this is how you demonstrate. This is how you use this funnel approach to demonstrate how your proposed study will lead to a meaningful community engagement and solving specific problems. So just this slide is kind of giving you an example of what I was trying to say. One of the problem identified is that the world population, about 28.9%. Something you also need to know is that you need to state statistics. So about 28.9% of the world population are affected by hunger. And then if you want to link it to the local context, you would say in Africa, which is our continent, 58% people are also facing hunger, which is even twice the population, the world population facing food insecurity. You understand? Then linking it to, for example, Nigeria, you would now have to say that, okay, in Nigeria, issues that have made this matter complex, you can then indicate and cite sources, back your statement with evidence. Say in the news, maybe according to the World Bank or according to FAO, there are inflation in the land, limited production, food scarcity. So these are some of the ways that you can put up a strong application in the development impact section of the Commonwealth Scholarship. I hope you are following. Um,
Yes, yeah.
the subsequent section, which is still under the developmental impact, is that they want to see how you intend to apply the skills that you've obtained from studying. If you eventually get the scholarship, how do you apply that? So again, still under the development impact section. So here you need to summarize your plan. You need to be explicit on the methods and the implementation strategy that you would use to show after returning some of the skills that you've obtained, or you've gotten from that exposure that you got. And in doing so, you might also want to be specific with some. For instance, if you're returning to working in your alma mater. For instance, for me, did my first degree at the Federal University of Technology. I can, if I've got the opportunity to return to that university to work, I can be specific about that. Then if I think would be better suited in the industry, then I could also, be specific about the name of the industry. This brings nuances to your application and makes it unique to those that just say blanket words that use general terms. So, for instance, if you want to work with the government, work with parastatals or agencies like the NAFDAC, NDLEA, you want to work with those dealing with food industry, the BOI, Bank of Agriculture. So putting those specifics, then it makes the difference. So some of the ways you can, apply your study while putting up your story, telling your story, is through research and consultancy. As an agricultural student, I can say I want to support smallholder farmer through evidence-based approach, reaching out to farmers in my vicinity. I might also want to tackle systemic issues by maybe writing policy brief and then mailing our policy makers, sending out your uh, uh, um, uh, a drafted policy briefs to them and be hopeful that they can take that up as bill. And then you can also talk about publishing um, maybe your thesis that you would like to link to developmental issues in your country. So presenting at conferences so you can have access, or even approaching media houses to hear your opinion about how you can propose solutions to some of the challenges that we are facing. For instance, if you are studying something related to transportation, and then after gaining your master's degree, then you can say that, okay, I studied transportation management, and I understand the challenge back home when it comes to addressing road accidents. So from this study abroad, I am able to provide solution, and this is how I go about providing the solution, writing to the Ministry of Transport, publishing papers around those solutions, um, approaching media houses to hear my take about how we can reduce, maybe carbon emissions from vehicles, how we can embrace car insurances. These are some of the ways that you can show that you would like to apply the skills that you've gotten. Leverage existing experience. Start with what you know. Frame your development as moving from your current industry to to another industry. So for instance, if you're changing discipline, this might work for you. You might have to showcase that, okay, this is the new knowledge that I have obtained from studying so course, and then this is how I intend to um, you know you know impact my society. For example, I gave an example here. You might also even say that you want to work with an NGO, you know working with an NGO, starting with about 5 to 10 people locally, then scaling that. Okay, working with Realize Nigeria, pioneered Fuji's, pioneered by Dr. Ireti Adesida. So these specifics are what would make your application stand out. And then, while showing impact, you need to be clear about change you want to make in your immediate community, and also need to state your expected outcomes. That is um, how you can be specific. Then ensure that your goals are realistic. These are things that are achievable, not just that when you return from this study, the exposure will allow you to build the second island bridge or Lekki Epe bridge. Those are
Mm.
gigantic projects. You can't be unrealistic. You need to be, and then your whatever you are um, putting together as your story need to be specific in terms of time frame. So it makes sense that you also add timeline to your story. For instance, immediately after my program, the first 2 years, I would be able to set up this, work with this, this organization, that organization. Subsequently, then I can do this and that. So adding those numbers, um, backing up with data, quantifying those efforts would make your essay stand out. Then, um, as I said earlier, expected outcomes need to be clearer in your development impact essays. For instance, things that has to do with productivity. Probably for me, working with smallholder farmers, I like to see increase in their income, in their productivity. I like to see their household food security strengthened. If I were to be working around gender, then I like to see women empowerment, through education and resources, awareness, then if I had the opportunity to also work with policymaker, I like to see policy reforms around, equitable access to agricultural inputs. So, for instance, talking about timeline, you might say implementation will begin 6 months post return from your study, and then runs for 12 to 8 months. You also do well uh to to identify the beneficiaries of the impact of your study and of your return to the country. So, for instance, you might, like for me, I might say that my main beneficiaries will be rural farmers, because they're largely into agriculture, which is my field of study. I want to see um, improvement in their livelihoods, before now, broadening it out to other people. Before rounding up the developmental impact section, there's an area where they also want to see how you measure your success. How do you measure your success? So, and that is where I advise that you use numbers or indicate how you're going to do this, maybe by tracking your progress, by numbers of, for instance, if I'm talking to farmer and I want to improve their livelihoods, I must indicate, I must put together some key indicators, like the number of farmers adopting new innovations, technologies, women achieving food security, and getting aware about what is opportunities going on in their environment. Indices like improved yield, reduced poverty rates. These are some of the things that you can put forward as way of measuring your impact. And then, yeah, as I said earlier, you can also do that by getting feedback from those you will be working with in an quarterly basis, monthly basis. Send out Google Forms and surveys, let them review. These are some of the ways you can measure your impact, and these are some of the insights that you want to make clear in your essay. Then there's also an area that wants you to talk about your career plan and your study outline. So, for a master student after returning, you want to say that immediately after you're done with your study, um, the first 2 3 years, you would be, sharing your knowledge, using your network to better your environment, your community, and then they want to see after that what next. After that, what next? So, in the short time, you want to, maybe 0 to 2 years, you want to give back to your community, you want to partner with people on ground, see how you can maybe even create more awareness about the scholarship itself, and then probably in subsequent year you might also want to further your education. These are some things that you so indicate numbers, put the years. Okay, 0 to 2 years, I want to do this. Then two to the third year, fourth year, I would like to do this. And later on in the future, I might also want to work maybe as a consultant, create my own NGO, start something like this, share knowledge. Those are things. Go for your PhD, you know, start your own company. These are things you need to showcase in your career plans. So that timeline you need to, and this is why it's good. You take your time to draft something that is reasonable, realistic, and then interests you as well. The more you spend more time in refining your document, then the better it is at the end before submitting. So, before moving to the objective during the award, which is another section. So they want to know that even while in the UK, what are the things that you intend to do aside from study? So, before we just dive into that, let me see if there are questions that I can take. And
Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. So I know it's been a wonderful experience. So if you've been enjoying this, to our viewer, Those who are watching across board, if you've been enjoying this, show your emoji as you are. Let's see your emoji. How much do you understand what we are saying? So let's see that thumbs up, just to be sure that we are on the same page. So let's see your thumbs up, your best emoji to show how interesting and how informative this engagement has been. So we'd like to see your emoji. As we and also we welcome questions because I'm still expecting some questions because we also round up. So before that, so that we can have your questions. As you're expecting your emoji, let me also ask because I know generally we all have a dream destination. So let me just
Yeah.
throw this icebreaker out there. So if I have to ask you, if you could study in any country, where will it be? So just let me have your dream destination, your dream country. Let me also have that in the chat box, and also with your favorite emoji. So what's your dream destination? Because I know a lot of us, it's not only the Commonwealth scholarship that we are also looking for. We also have other things, other countries that we are looking at. So, what's your dream destination? What's your dream study destination? Let's have that. Thank you, Rosemary Ojo. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ojifini Gbemisola. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So let's keep seeing your emojis and let's know what's your dream destination, your dream study destination. Because one thing I always say is this: that issue of education you can't remove it from your life. Exposure is what you need. The I tell people I mentor across board that the greatest gift you can give yourself is for you to get that foreign exposure. You can't buy it. You can't duplicate it with nothing else. So it's always good that you have that, and that's why for us and also for me, I feel the best way for me to give back even to the society and also to give back to you is and also Femi too, who also is also contributing today, is for us to share some of this information. We should not all the information. Let it go around. Let everybody be fine. Let everybody make it. Let's see ourselves at the top, and that's the principle we believe in. So that's it. Okay, Rosemary just says I would love to do it at that United Kingdom, particularly Newcastle. Okay, great.
Okay.
So that's
Nice.
great. So I know. So let's keep having. So you can still drop your dream destination or your dream study destination and your emoji. So before we go into the objectives, because I also want to probably quickly chip this and also let me ask you because uh, how because now looking at the development impact,
Yeah.
I think there's need for there's you can't underestimate the power of volunteering. I know you mentioned a
Yeah.
bit of it,
Yeah.
so it's also good that you hammer on that because I also think I was also checking even the UK one of the policies for you to have your citizenship.
Yeah.
I saw volunteering.
Recently. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw volunteering there. So, and most of
Yeah.
the time when you talk to young people across board, when volunteering is like a strange thing to them. So, why
Mm.
is it very important? Because some of these things, that's how you can. Because I'm just trying to look at how can you develop your essay without having some of this background. Because
Yeah.
all your life is just about school, 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 school. You don't
Yeah.
have any other thing. So, why is volunteering very important? Because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another key thing that I think we need to look at.
Yeah. So, yep, I think it's very important, and volunteering should be part of you, and that is one thing that I like the United Kingdom for also, spotlighting that you might have to give back to that country you want the citizenship so desperately, or say that country you feel that you've given your all to, probably in terms of tax. But aside the tax, aside you working, they felt that your time, volunteer, voluntarily giving out your time, is very important. And people do appreciate when you give out your time, because here time is money, and they know that when you're giving your time, then you've given something, even more than money. So I think what we also need to do as people, especially back home, is that we appreciate it when people give out their time, to assist us in doing one thing. Even when your sibling, start from when your elder brother, your elder sister, your younger one, volunteer to do something for you at home. When your parent does things for you without you asking, when you start appreciating these things, then you would you see reason why you also need to, or when you get appreciated yourself, or even if you do not get appreciated, it's a good thing to to volunteer your time, and it's also a good way to gain experience, you know
Yeah.
and here, if you're applying for a job, you can land any type of job you want just by indicating that you volunteered along those lines.
Mm.
Yeah, you can land any type of job just to say, "Oh, I volunteer to work with." Maybe you're working around your academic research is around cancer research. You might just indicate that you volunteered with the British cancer agency, or the agency, or with Red Cross, those that has something to do with health. You can definitely land a place by doing that. And also that links to the objective during the award. Aside from studying, just
Okay,
as
can we just quickly ask? There's a question here. Said,
okay.
as for volunteering, does it have to do with something that aligns with my study, or I can volunteer for sectors that isn't related to my field of study? I think majorly, probably, I think they're looking at during your development impact, and also when you are putting
Yeah,
up your reference and everything.
yeah, yeah. You it's if you are able to get something around what you want. For instance, you are looking to be like an expert in the EdTech sector. It will be good if you are able to volunteer along those lines. But there's also the aspect of leadership
Yeah.
skills that would
Mm.
come up in your essays. So when you're talking about volunteering and leadership skills, that cut across every sector.
Yeah. Mm.
So if you volunteer to be like an event planner, a project manager, a social media platform manager, all these things
Yeah.
cut
It's part
across
of
every sector.
giving back to the
Exactly.
community. Yeah.
So you're giving back in one way or the other. So the way you write your essay, the way you structure that experience, the way you play with your words would show if you're able to eat the nail or the head or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as I want to reemphasize, it's not necessary that you focus on the field that you belong to. There are some skills they call transferable skills.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, if you are able to, do that, volunteer your time in those transferable skills, you can put that in your essay, even not considering the field of study that you are applying for.
Okay, someone says, Rosemary Ojo says, I studied agricultural extension and communication. However, I'm currently a media personality. I work with agribusiness all for 6 months to get improved seeds and other. So how do I indicate this?
Um, you'd already said it. If I get what you said right, how do you indicate this in terms of showing in your application, or what exactly do you mean? If I need, because
So how do I write about this volunteer stuff since I'm majorly focused on the media now, and I'm
okay,
also looking at switching my course into international relations? How do I volunteer to help my essay?
whatever you've done,
Yeah,
whatever you've done is
it's
what
very
you
useful.
yeah, don't just think that because you're in media, the volunteering experience you did in health or say in agric extension does not relate. No, you can put in, so far you are touching lives, you are
Yeah,
impacting lives. So that is what they want to see, that you what they want to see is that you have the mindset that this scholarship is not going to be about yourself alone, and that your subsequent activities shows that you are like genuinely passionate about people.
yeah. And you
So
can transfer whatever you have learned.
uh, exactly, and that you are able to successfully transfer whatever you have learned in a particular area to another area, or from a particular geographical location to another geographical location. For instance, you've studied in the UK. No matter what you've studied in the UK, for instance, if you come to the UK to study food security, the fact that you are already a media person, it's an added advantage to you.
Yeah. Mm.
You get what I mean? So you can come to the UK, study food security, but when putting your essay, you cannot emphasize that you will rely on the network of people that you've built over the years in the media industry to propagate awareness around improved seeds, talk
Yeah.
about, mobile applications that you can use to track climate change, that you can use to predict rainfall, to create more awareness, media programs around applications that can detect pests and diseases. So now you are linking your study or your previous degree, or your previous qualification. You are now linking it or capitalizing on your current skills. You're linking both of them together. You're talking about food security, then you are using your network as a media personality to propagate that the good
Yeah.
news that you want to share. So they kind of work hand in hand. Depends on how you want to how you want to put it out there.
Because even media has a lot to do with whatever you are doing. And so since she's switching to international relations, to me,
Yeah,
international relations also needs a lot of communication. So communication
exactly.
is very key, and that's what I always tell people. For those of us, thank God, you are. She's also within the agricultural extension and communication environment. For those
Yep.
who are within that space, you have the opportunity. There's nothing we cannot communicate. We can communicate health, we can communicate education, we can anything
Yeah, it cut
that is
across. Yeah,
yeah. So it's there's always a skill. So no skill is lost. Well, the
yeah,
major thing is that you are diligent about it. You do it with all your mind, and also
yeah,
you have. I think another thing I would just add is that you must have records. You must have proof.
yeah. I'd,
Take
I'd, I'd
pictures.
talked about
Take
that
pictures.
in subsequent.
So that is very important. So
Yeah.
because I know we have few time just left, so let's just go straight to the objective as you mentioned.
Okay. So in the objectives during the award section, so now why they are also asking about this question is to text your understanding about the reason behind the Commonwealth Scholarship. It's not just about yourself alone. It's not just about funding your academic dreams. They want to see, okay, what else do you have in stock for yourself, and also to better yourself aside from the award. And that's also linked back to what we've been talking about. So for me, or for instance, you might say during the study, you would also volunteer. You see what I mean? You might say you also volunteer, seek opportunities through volunteering. Internships are also some of the things that you want to do during your award, because it might take you like 12 months. um it would not be good to just spend that 12 months focusing on study. You need to say something around expanding your network, meeting people, learning a specific skill, volunteering your time, giving back to the immediate. Because give or take, if you are staying in the UK for a year, that in itself, you've also developed, you now have another community in the UK. So, getting to know people, those are some of the things that you want to highlight, and also do well to highlight how those activities, extracurricular activities would help improve you as a person, and also help you in giving back to your community. So that is an insight to how you can address the objectives during the award section. So I think I'd already talked about the career plans briefly. Yeah, there's a section that talks about career plan 5 years after the award. So I made mention of, okay, returning to Nigeria, you can be specific about what you want to do, and then indicate time. 0 to 5 months, what you want to do. Maybe you would be consulting or seeking for ideas. That's fine. you know no, you just have to think take time to think about, okay, how do I start this? What do I think I would be able to implement? Okay, if you want to mentor people via media, or you want to tutor people about how to even put up the applications. So these are some of the things that I do. Uh, you know, Try to create more awareness. Guide people through applying for this type of wonderful opportunity. You can put it there. Then you can also be specific. If it's about research, in 2 to 3 years time, indicate some of the organizations in Nigeria or in your community that you want to work on, say on sustainable farming, food systems, and the likes. If you want to talk about trainings, okay, how do you intend to go about this training? What specific training do you want to do? Is it judging from the knowledge you've acquired, or is it post-harvest management, climate adaptations? When they see these specifics, rather than just being broad, then then they can understand that you are communicating. Then maybe in the 4 to 5 years, you want to then pursue your PhD, or you want to start your own company, or no, then this is how you can show progression in your career plan section of the essay. Long-term plan, as I said, could be global collaborations, maybe say after 5 years or between 3 to 5 years. Partners, for instance, in the agricultural sector, you can indicate partners like FAO, CGIR, IFAD, World Bank. These are organizations that work along the lines of agriculture and food initiatives. If you are in the health sector, you can also talk about WHO, World Health Organization, all those organizations that are linked to to um, the health sector. These specifics will make your essay different from and unique. You want to talk about capacity building for yourself long time. You can talk about and also for others. You might talk about you want to kind of spearhead a program that empowers Africans across farmers across Africa, and this could go beyond tangible stuffs. It could also mean intangible stuffs, like you know um for instance, those that are in the media, you know taking out time to pour out your knowledge on the media. Even social media is a big thing these days. You can start and end your uh giving back on the social media. So it's only about uh let me say how you are able to put words together and then showcase that, okay, on social media I would look out for people that are in need of knowledge as to where they want to source maybe say improved cassava stems. Then I would also reach out to the organization, say IITA, who are in charge of this type of improved variety, and then develop a way of linking those people who showed interest on the social media, uh, who showed interest to seeking improved cassava stems, link them to IITA. Everything can be done on media, can be done online, and then if there's need for face to face, you can also put that in your application, that okay, subsequently we would move from online platform and to starting like a face-to-face mentorship, sharing of knowledge, and then on the long run you can also talk about putting all your knowledge into books. So after you've gotten in-depth knowledge and experiences, giving back, you can put everything together into a book which can be available for people to look at, and then for your own record as well. So yep, be realistic with your future plan. Avoid unrealistic promises. Don't claim you want to build the biggest industry or company in the region. Start from somewhere, start small. So the scholarship provides knowledge and skills, not construction capital. So you need to be aware that you are not getting thousands of pounds to start any big project, but something simple, something you are able to account for, and something that you can, pursue without necessarily backing you with huge capital. So there's this part of personal statement and leadership. As I said earlier, wherever you've volunteered, you may be working as part of student union in your in your university, volunteering with organizations like Fujist, being a media personality. You can't. It's a good way to show leadership experience. And then in most cases, when you want to, it's better that you follow the STAR approach when putting up your leadership experience, be it in your personal statement or any scholarship sections that might come up during your application. When you say STAR approach, it's about following the situation, the task, by stating the situation, the task, the action, and the result. Okay. The situation, eh, maybe there's a need for somebody to anchor a particular program or manage a particular project, and probably whoever is doing that is on a sick leave, maternity leave. That could be the situation. you know and then what is the tax? The tax is we need somebody um to manage this project over so time, and then till the person holding the role comes back. You try to talk about the tax, and then you talk about what you were able to achieve as stepping into that position, if it's a leadership position. As it doesn't have to be that big. Yeah, people think that, oh, listen, my project need to be massive, the leadership role need to be like XUG president. you know y- you know it could even be the class captain. It could be you deputizing, your your um your class representative, something as small as that. And then try to quantify, what was the outcome, which of the leadership experience that you've got, which should be positive to me. And if there are lessons that you learn while mounting that leadership position, then you also want to do well to indicate that. So yeah. So I just put together a few winning strategy. As I said here on the slide, you need try as much as possible where you have statistics, back up your claims with verifiable source, and statistics. Now propose achievable plans, how you want to make incremental change over the years. So you are not just saying that by the time you come back from studying maybe agriculture and food production, suddenly the entire state would become food insecure. No, you want to, small win, then make it incremental, starting from small, build on existing experience, and then over time you start, you know, talking about future. Then also not working in isolation. You need to, in your essays, you need to show that you would work with people, and then you rely on people's network. Even sometimes you might not have the network on your own, but showcase that you would, maybe you went to school in an area. You could rely on the Department of Agriculture and Extension in that area to reach out to their staff, to reach out to students, to reach out to the community that the university is located at. So, again, I would emphasize, when telling your story, for instance, if you say, tell us when you've, um, been in a leadership position or in a challenging position and how you handle it, it's always good to use the STAR approach, which is the situation, task, the action, and the result that you got, the result of that activity. And sometimes you can also follow it or put the lessons after stating the situation, describing the task that was undertaken, the action that that you took, the result of the action, follow it up with the lesson you've learned from occupying such position, or for from addressing a specific challenge. And before I ask for further question, let me just go through this. So key takeaways will be that you understand why, connect your study to national and global developmental issues. This is what one thing that I hammered on in the beginning. See in your field of study or field of interest, what are the global developmental issues that are happening? Link that to your country, to your community. Follow the funnel approach, from top then down. Then show measurable outcomes of your plan. Use timeline. Then be specific. Then match your essays, to try to make sure that that some of the terms that are kind of trendy buzzwords in your field appear in your study. When you're talking about agriculture, environment, then you would also want to inculcate words like sustainability. When talking about food, then definitely you want to be talking about what we are facing currently, issues with climate, climate adaptation, climate change. These are things that you want to make sure that they appear. Then try as much as possible to tell your story. When you're trying to put words on paper, reminiscing about your own story would be easier than trying to probably mimic other person's story. Avoid something that you want to avoid is avoid overemphasizing on personal gain. As I said, the Commonwealth primary goal is that you are able to reach out to other people that were unable to come and study. Those that were unable to study, you are able to reach out to them. So try as much as possible to showcase how other people, your immediate community, the nation at large, would benefit from you studying uh, through via the scholarship, Commonwealth scholarship. Start where you have influence. As I said earlier, start where you could even start from your family. You could start from your colleagues, your friends, your cohort in the university, or in your in your current university, or in your former place of study. Focus on goals that are achievable, goals that are smart, that are simple, measurable, like realistic and time bound. And I think for now we can as well take some questions if they are available. Mm.
Okay, thank you very much. Though we're still expecting questions as we're rounding up. So, in case you have any question, please just kindly reach out as we round up. I know we've learned a lot, so you can also share your feedback on what you have learned. If there are things, keywords that you've learned throughout this show, it's also good that we hear from you. So, thank you very much, Olufemi, for this. We appreciate you. So, as we round up, I would like to ask, as someone who has walked through even this part, because I know someone will say that I was there. It's better than I shall be there. You passed through that part. So, what was your biggest challenge, and how did you overcome them, or what were, because there might be more than one, so we might say your biggest challenges, and how were you able to overcome them?
I think number one would be let me say time. I
Mhm.
never, during all this before embarking on the journey, I underestimate the time that it would require to
Mm,
put into having a solid application at first.
mm,
So series haven't gotten rejections upon rejections, then I need to now sit back and re-strategize. Although I also definitely would be doing some other things with my life, not just applying for scholarship, but because these days things are very competitive. You
Yeah.
just don't get things on a platter of gold.
Mm,
You need to, time to replicate your essays, and the fact that
mm,
sometimes you need to tailor those applications to a new school. Probably you've taken your time to, to draft a body of work, to be submitted for a Commonwealth scholarship. Then
mm,
suddenly a Mastercard scholarship or an Erasmus Module scholarship, is up for application. That would mean that I need to, take out some codes, bit and pieces of my previous, body of work, and then
mm,
adjust, refine, and tailor them to the new scholarship, because the new scholarship might come with, seemingly different question framed
mm,
in different ways, and then yeah, so it takes time to do that, and then and submitting several applications, you know definitely then it take resources as well, which can be challenging sometimes, especially for someone who is not able to even sponsor themselves, not to talk. So
yeah.
resources like having access to necessary tools. For instance, while joining this um, webinar today, Dr. Ireti asked if I will be joining, via phones or via PC. Yeah, I've seen cases where people had to submit application using their phone, and as much as it might work, with the grace of God, yeah, it doesn't really, give you
Mm,
that using your phone to type to, so resources like laptop
mhm.
to make life better,
Or
you
sending
know
it via WPS.
Exactly. So nothing like seeing on a big screen, editing using the Word document, taking your time to, correct spellings, all these things you will not see. So, me using my phone sometimes, getting out. Then in my mind, I try to link, the rejection to something I didn't have the opportunity to, to use and the like. So that is that. And then another thing would be the lonely part of scholarship, seeking scholarships and fellowships and opportunities abroad. It can be lonely. So one way of addressing that is trying to, mingle with people of like minds, not just isolating myself, trying to, some of my friends are also been my friends for a long time, just because we decided to push together for opportunities abroad, and we've been lifelong. I'd made like lifelong friends from school, from friends in my community, just because they showed interest, and then started WhatsApp groups, create WhatsApp groups, talk about this opportunity, share this opportunity. So doing that, you can you have somebody to feedback. Oh, have you submitted that application? Yeah, it's closing so day. Don't forget, make sure that you do that and that before the deadline. So reminding yourself and being there for each other would make the lonely journey to be more bearable, I would say. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, there's another question that we have here that says, does position with your local assembly count, e.g., leader of a youth group in your church? And
Yeah.
also, if I can also add, probably you worked in the community, you volunteered in the community,
Yeah.
you volunteer with the organizations, and so does this
Yeah.
count? Would it
Yeah.
count?
Yeah. Yeah. They all count. Yeah. As Dr. Retis said the last time, what we don't do not do in most cases when we are find ourselves in this position is that we do not document.
Mm,
So when we're trying to recall is now becoming difficult. So I encourage you, if you want to recall, it might take you a long time to recall. So if you want to do that, you might have to start thinking. Even you can record talking to your phone, you know, audio recording, and then transcribe whatever
yeah.
pouring out your mind in an audio format, and then transcribe that into a word format. I tell you will be surprised if you talking directly to your phone and recording what content you would have. Even if the essay is about 500, by the time you transcribe what you've just said, into a word format from an audio format, it might even surpass 400 words. And sometimes we over commonize what we do, you know, and that is something that I know the Brits does so well. They will tell you just by drinking, water, that they strategically picked up the cup, you know, and they positioned the cup in front of their face and they drank it carefully without, and they would even put statistics there, put
They
the
are
number of,
intentional.
yeah. So so it will be surprising that that small little contribution that you are making in your church, with the youth in your environment, counts. So it's just about you documenting it so well. And then, as I said earlier, an insight is, if you cannot put pen on paper by writing, because for me, I like writing using my pen. So I write on paper and then reflect on those writing, edit them online. But if you can't do that, you can speak into devices these days. We have technology. You will do your recordings by talking. You can do that over the week, not necessarily just when you want to meet the deadline. As time goes on, you start having case studies, examples to share, you with while applying for your scholarships.
Then I think I will also say that the issue of, I like recording, because if you don't like writing, you record,
Yeah,
because
that's
that
another
takes
way of
me to
communicating. Yeah,
the challenge also we have nowadays with the issue of edtech. Edtech is good, AI is good,
yeah,
but because I think also you need to also let people know, I don't know, from your own perspective, because now people just go to any of these AI tools and just
yeah,
drop it and just do copy and paste. But
yeah,
if it comes from your, because I know these organizations also, there's a way they also check, because
yeah,
we are just using AI to answer some of these
yeah.
questions. There are ways they
It-
check. But
it-
if you say it from the bottom of your heart, then probably
yeah.
you refresh or rephrase it. I think it might be better.
Yeah, because when you talk, and that is why gave because many of us are holding, yeah, we are in possession of these devices, but we do not know how to use them better. So when you talk from the bottom of your heart, you try to reflect on what your personal story is, and how you will make contribution, or you have made contribution in the past. The nuances will be there, the specific city would be there. And not forgetting that the same AI that you have access to, other people also have access to it. So you wouldn't be surprised when thousands of people submit applications to a certain panel, and they see like
The same.
repetition.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And they see trends and repetition of AIs. Without those nuances, they will definitely separate your application from the rest. But the uniqueness of yours would come from your personal story. So you need to tell it. And then you can then embrace those tools to refine them where
refine.
necessary.
Yes, yes, that's the
Yeah.
thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
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 So they said, do we need to write IELTS for school applications? I think, but I
Yeah.
know for Commonwealth, it's not needed, but for IELTS for other schools,
Yeah.
I think it depends
So
on the school. Yeah.
it depends on yeah, that's what I want to say. It depends on the school. You need to reach out to the university while applying for admission if they require. I know that most university in the UK would waive your need for English proficiency using your WAEC, especially if you have a good grade in your English,
Yes.
on your WAEC, and if you've been taught with English, using English language as a medium of communication during your studies, you would also use that. Maybe your transcript or your certificates should be enough to waive. Some university would even accept NECO, WAEC, and NECO. English grades, C6 upward. These are documents
Yeah.
that are acceptable. But in the case where the university is bent on sitting for this English test, it could also be a good idea if you have the funds, because at the same time, the fund is necessary. Sitting for such an exam would give you opportunities beyond the Commonwealth. It will make it might make you more flexible in terms of the type of scholarships you want to apply for. Not necessarily the United Kingdom. You might also consider applying to other positions in Canada, Australia, maybe United States. So you have a tool that can be used across board if you end up sitting for any of those proficiency exams.
Okay. Rosemary Ojo is asking that will you be willing to help out during the application process because of the competitiveness? Though I don't know. Though well, probably
I,
if there's anything like that, probably we'll let you know later. I don't know.
If it depends on my time schedule
Yeah,
and the
that's it. Because I know
urgency.
to
Yeah,
get you even for this meeting will take a lot. So uh,
it depends on the the and that is why I suggest that people plan ahead. When you plan like a year ahead of the time. Thank God you've got so far you've got the knowledge, understanding of what you want to do and when you want to do it. Even if you are not meeting um, the current deadline, you can at the same time reciprocate or replicate the application in the subsequent year. So what you do is use that whole year to strengthen your application. Then reach out to people, not necessarily me, so reach out to people. There are so many people that might be, available to help. And even if I'm in a position to help, if you reach out to me, if I'm free, I would. So far, it's not urgent, and I do not have to, feel bad that I was not able to reach out before your application. So give people time, when you want to, and that is what I was trying to say, you need to appreciate their time as well. So make sure that you're giving people time, and if and make sure that you are also not reaching out to just one person.
yeah,
Yeah, because after talking and talking today, if you at the end of the day, probably your understanding of scholarships and Commonwealth scholarship, to be specific, might just improve by 20%. That does not mean that you would shy away from joining other webinars as well. The more you explore, meet people, talk to people, you gain more knowledge and more clarification. These are things you would gain over time and
yeah.
make you stronger.
Yeah, thank you. So what we'll do is that if there are opportunities whereby if you have, that's why you have to register. So once you
Yeah.
register, if there are opportunities whereby we have a pool of submission and we just want to have a quick review, we can do that
Of
as well.
them.
So
Yeah.
we can do
Yeah.
that. So when it gets to that point, as I said,
Yeah.
don't bring in a fire brigade approach. Your submission is supposed to be in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you are dropping it today. So if it's like probably we have about thank God now, some of us we are looking at next year. So you
Yeah.
have about some months. So if you have about 2 or 3 months notice, then that
Yeah.
also we can help you out with that. So
Yeah.
that is very important. Then also there's a question also that came in for those who registered. Someone is saying, can I still apply for an MSc degree program when I already obtained MBA degree in the same UK some years ago? Then the MBA appears to be professional MBA. So I think, what do you have any answer to
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no limit to what you can achieve. There's no
Okay.
limitation to knowledge seeking in the UK. Even if I've got friends that have got 3 masters. So two from the UK, one from abroad. So far you are able to. One thing that you need to show in your application is that definitely you would want to show that you already have an MBA. Then you need to find a convincing reason
Yeah.
why you want to, after bagging your MBA, why you also still want to apply for another master's. For instance, one of the action you can take is going into the new master's program that you want to do, look at their modules, see where that module fits in your career, and then say that because my previous MBA does not cover so and so area, this new master's program would open, my eye to this and that, give me opportunities to this industry or that industry, and would also fill the gap that my MBA could not cover. And they are done.
Okay. Also, one is asking that for MSc in public health, can I do a thesis-based MSc without any research experience? And how do I make my application stand out?
So the person currently has
Thesis-based public health, that's
masters.
MSc. MSc.
Okay. Okay. Why not? You can do proceed to masters. Even someone with a bachelor's degree, you
So I
you
think
take.
what Spencer says is that the first degree was probably was not research-based, was a
Yeah,
taught masters.
even if
Now
it's,
you want to go to
yeah,
MRes. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. Well, I doubt when you say you've got no research experience. You must have done your bachelor's and you did the
Yes.
project.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you will it I know it's mandatory in Nigeria. You have to write your dissertation, and
Yeah.
then even if you have done a master's, a taught masters. I did a taught masters. Most of the Commonwealth masters would be taught masters, but there's always a dissertation at the end of the program.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's no way you would have a bachelor's degree and master's degree. That means you must have written a research or dissertation twice.
Mm.
Those the title of your project, and even if you have a soft copy of those projects, are enough evidence to show that you can do research.
Okay. There's one saying, as an undergraduate already in my final year, is it possible to apply for shared scholarship if I'll be rounding up before September?
Yeah, yeah, it's possible. It's possible to, if you're rounding up this September and you want to submit your application, you need references, 2 to 3 references. You need your personal statement and motivation letter. Something that will be difficult for you is your certificate because you are just
Yeah.
rounding up. Yeah, but if you are able, I'm not sure when the Commonwealth Share Scholarship would be closed. If it's open next in few weeks time, probably it might last till around November. If by then you are able to get notification of results, that can stand in as your certificate. And then when they need you to upload your transcripts, you can go to your department or senate to get you to obtain what they call statement of marks. So statement of marks is a record or documentation of your academic performance over the years. Even if the final year result is not included, get the ones that are available, put them together as a PDF, and then use that as transcript.
But is it
And
for, is it, can you, so this thing is real because a lot of people don't know. I know you mentioned it during the last thing. So there's
yep,
what we call the statement of marks.
yeah,
Okay. So you can walk up to the registry and ask for that.
yeah. My friends use that to get their Mastercard scholarship in Canada during my set. So what we did was to walk up to the Senate. We asked the Senate for our statement of marks. They printed it out, excluding the final year, because then we were in the final year. And if your university is different from FUTA, where I studied, there's a possibility that your records are being kept in your department.
Yeah.
You can as well approach the admin of your department if you can get. And there are some universities who that have that create online platform where you can check your results. So far
Mm.
your results are not um not being challenged, or if there are no errors, because I know some universities have challenged
Missing
uploading.
scores, missing
Yeah,
results, and
missing
everything.
scores. So if they are downloadable from that portal, what you do is that you can download them, put them in PDF format, and take them for authentication in your department, in your HOD's office. So your HOD can just put a stamp on it, and sign on it, indicating that those marks are genuine and then you are a student. So that will suffice.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. So let's get to the final advice. If you have to give one golden tip to someone applying for the Commonwealth Scholarship, especially just now, probably someone who is about to meet up with the ongoing scholarship, what would be that advice? What would be that golden advice?
Um, just one.
Well, you can give more than one.
It will be that
Okay.
the ongoing one is already rounding up, so I wouldn't stay start early any longer because, but for those also that will be preparing for, you know, the Commonwealth Shield, you can use this opportunity, the ongoing essays and the templates that is available on their website to start, brainstorming about those questions and how you want to use your current experience to answer them for Commonwealth or for other scholarship. And then another advice would be that tell your unique story. You know,
Yeah.
tell your unique story. Make sure that you are not replicating other people's story. You never can tell. There's been cases where 2 3 colleagues apply for the same scholarship from the same department, and then the panelists were asking a particular colleague who is currently studying in the university, did you know this person? This person said he is from your university, and from we noticed that he is also from your department. Do you think this person is worthy of giving
Hmm.
being given the opportunity? And this person, these people I'm talking about, Dr. Ireti Adesina, would even know them if I mention their name. The panelists went to their current student who also studied in the same university and asked, how about this person? Is this person who he said he is? And then the person, said, yep, this person, you will never regret giving him this opportunity. The guy got the opportunity. So
Wow.
tell your own unique story, and you never can tell where to take you. And then to round it up, I know it's not easy. People can be frustrated, but it goes down to being intentional.
Yeah.
As with other things in life, there's a bit of luck, grace, effort, chance. You're as good as your competitor. Yeah, sometimes you might only be your application might be weak, but when other people did not apply, even the weak application becomes
Yeah.
the strong application. So the journey is not for the faint-hearted until you get what you've got. I would also advise that you diversify your application. Don't just be stuck at I must go to the United States or I must go to the United Kingdom. Don't because the world is getting more competitive. So you might want to spread your tentacles to attract um, different opportunities to yourself.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you, Olufemi Adesina. He's a PhD researcher at the University of Leeds, United Kingdom. It's been a wonderful time with you. He's also a brother. It's also someone I also value over the years through mentorship over the years. So I thank you so much, and I'm happy to see you grow over the years. So that's just the journey. When you see people you've affected their lives positively over the years, they are growing, and we're also
Mm,
impacting and giving back. So
mm.
thank you very much, and greetings to your family. I know it's a lot of time. Sunday it's a time with
Yeah,
the family. So extend my greetings to your family members for giving that
yeah,
that time, for you to be with us. And we
yeah.
look forward to having more engagement. I know we still have our
Mm,
statement of purpose. And
yeah,
also for those who are really, really active. And so when it comes to the application, there are ways we
yeah,
can also be of
yeah,
help, will
yeah.
surely be
We,
of
we should
help.
we should think of something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
So
when I'm done, then I would have a bit of time as well to.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So I know it's a lot. And again,
yeah,
also probably when you are true to, you probably also share your own story because running
definitely.
PhD is not, I've passed through it and I know you are passing through it. PhD is
Yeah,
not just, because that's another thing I think we need to tell people out there. So don't
yeah.
just think that PhD is just something like I'll
Something
just
you
come
jump
and
on. Yeah,
it's not the way it's not the way we run it over there. Over there, it's a serious
yeah,
business. So I
yeah,
think we need to also keep learning from that. So thank you and
yeah.
God bless you. And
Thank you so much.
do really enjoy yourself. And greetings to everybody in Leeds. I think we have Leeds United in your where you stay. I don't know whether you're a football fan, so
Yeah,
it's great. Because at least no matter what, we still have time to enjoy and relax. So thank
definitely,
you very much,
definitely.
and let me allow you to just take time off and rest, and we'll keep communicating. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
yeah,
And so to everybody out there, thank you very much to all those who have followed us. Don't forget, if you have not registered, make sure you register because the registration link is online. So make sure you register. Make sure you reach out and register with us. And don't forget, the one key thing again, also he has been saying is that you need to start early. Make sure you start early, and also don't forget the star approach. That's make sure you start from what's the situation, and also you look at the task, then the action, and also the result. So these are things that are very important. So just remember that. Then your smart goals too are so very important. Then again, you need to know how to tell your story. You need to share your story. You need to know how. Then again, also don't burn bridges. You mentioned something like this. Don't destroy relationships, because don't forget that while you are applying, there might be probably a coincidence, or probably where you are applying to someone probably that knows you or that is related to your institution might be there, and they might just ask, do you know this person? Oh, this name is familiar with your school. Do you know this person? And that can be like a breakthrough for you, or also it could also be a drop down. So make sure you keep your relationships. Keep your relationships. That person might be the person that will recommend you for that scholarship, in the nearest future. So make sure you build that relationship. Don't drop that, and also be realistic. And don't forget volunteering. I always say this: volunteer. And the Food Gist community is also open for you if you want to volunteer. This is a community where young people who are interested in communication, interested in food issues and everything. So we are building a new community. So if you are interested, make sure you register and follow up also with us on our social media at Food Gist Up, Food Gist Up on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Instagram, and also on LinkedIn too. So make sure you follow up with us. We have opportunities for those who want to volunteer. We need content creators. If you are interested in building content, you want to do research about food production, and you also have something to showcase on this project, on this program, or you have done something awesome that you want the world to know. This is an opportunity. So just send a message to us on our social media platform. Just reach out to us. We'll be there for you. And don't forget that from my own statistics and also from my own research across board, we know that every year the Commonwealth Scholarship probably gives a scholarship to about 700 scholars, about around 700, and we have so far we have about 31,000 scholars across the world that benefited from this. So make sure you are part of it. So I want to appreciate everyone. Oluwakemi Adenike, thank you very much. Oladokun Ayomiposi, thank you. Rosemary Ojo, thank you for following up. And also Olakemi Adenike, thank you. Olaronke Olaniyi, thank you very much. And also Jifini Bemisola, thank you very much. Temitope Abigail, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Olaniran Taiwo. Olaniran Tosin, thank you very much for joining. Gabriel Chibuzo, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And thanks to all those Promise Ayomide, thank you very much. We appreciate you for joining. And for all those who have been following us and those who are with us, thank you. God bless you. And well, don't worry. As I said, we are going to share the slide for today. We'll send it to your email once you have registered with us. So we'll surely share with us. So then I think she's DBJ. Okay, I think yeah. So I think yeah. Okay, your name. So thank you very much. And one thing I just want to say is this: keep dreaming, and that is the very thing. That's let me say that's the foundation. If you are someone that you don't have a dream, you don't have a plan, you don't have a vision, that is where the challenges, that is where the foundation start getting weak. So have a big dream and take that bold step. Take that bold step. Don't be afraid of the no's that people are saying. Oh, they always know, they always say no, no, no. No, no, no will take you to your yes. But if you're afraid of no, you will never get your yes. So make sure you dream big and make sure you do well. My name is Dr. Ireti Adesida. See you again Our next edition is coming very soon. We'll keep learning, we'll keep developing ourselves. It's not just about scholarship, it's also about food gist. So God bless you and bye. Take care.